couple of years down the road, you get really into slinkies.
Okay. Why?
You were hanging out. Your dad and stepmom are moving.
Okay.
So you had to fly back to beautiful Bethesda, Maryland, to help them pack and stuff. It's going to be a big
I wouldn't do that. They can do that. They can do that shit themselves.
Yeah, but they like do a thing where they pay for the ticket and they like put you up at a hotel and stuff. And you get a $20 gift card to the Darden Family Restaurant Group.
Okay. All right. Fine. I'm in. Why not?
So
I'll call into work and I'll say, "Hey, I'm going to be gone for a few days."
And they go, you call in, your boss is Bernice Zariah.
My boss, Bernice Zariah.
Yeah, she's
she must have just been hired because that's not what my boss's name is.
She was just hired like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm sorry, who are you?
Okay.
And she's like, this is not a good first impression, Ben. She's like, we'll talk when you're back. She hangs up.
Fine.
But like as she hangs up, you hear her say, huh, he sounds kind of cute though. Hangs up. So you're like a little turned on?
I don't think so. I think I'd be more confused.
So the point is that you go back to Bethesda, Maryland.
Okay.
And you help your dad and stepmom move. You help them like go to their new place.
Sure.
But while you were doing that, you found some old toys from when you were young. And you found this like rusty, like almost pretty much broken slinky.
Okay.
And you remember it from your youth.
That's not my slinky.
Brother.
No, my slinky was plastic and neon green, and it looked cool as shit.
Yeah.
It was like neon green and purple.
Well, that's what it looked like, but this is what it looks like now. Is what I meant.
It's rusty. Why is it rusty? It was made out of plastic.
Yeah, it turns out plastic rust.
That's not true.
The first documented case.
That's bullshit.
The first documented case is about a year down the road from now.
Okay.
And this is like a few years down the road.
Sure.
So it's just become kind of common at this point.
Okay.
You don't even blink. But for a second, you're like, your finger like isn't quite cut, but it feels those rusty edges. And for a second, you kind of go like, oh.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like a jolt of lightning goes through you.
Oh, no.
From in between your eyes down to the tip of your dick.
Okay.
You kind of go, ooh.
It feels nice?
It feels very nice.
Okay. So this is pretty cool.
So anyway, you're kind of like, that was fucking weird. And so it kind of reignites in you.
I can't think of anything else for the rest of the week.
Yeah. It reignites in you a passion for slinkies.
I can't imagine myself thinking of anything else the entire week.
Right. How could you?
Like I felt a beautiful sensation of electricity in my penis.
Yeah.
I bet I would try to get that back at no cost.
You don't feel the need to masturbate for like 2 weeks, dude. Like, you're good. You know what I mean?
So I can do no fap 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh,
it's no problem.
Yeah.
So child's play.
Oh, dude, it's like nothing. It's like blinking to you. You know what I mean? So it reignites your passion for slinkies.
Yeah.
So you kind of do a lot of research into them. You kind of like learn the history of slinkies, the surprisingly dark history of the slinky in the United States.
That's what got me into it in the first place.
Yeah. It turns out the slinky, Big Slinky has tried to suppress this like story, but it's true. The Slinkies were, excuse me, originally brought over to America by Nazi spies. In 1941.
Sure.
They brought the Slinky over, and it was actually used to like originally kind of like an all-purpose weapon to kill Americans with.
Okay.
Where what it was is you could use it to trip somebody. You know what I mean? They go,
It
whoa.
was like,
Or you could use it as like a long distance thing and go thwap like that, and then go whoa when you hit them in the face.
okay.
Or you could just like smack them in the dick with it, and they'll go oi. It's like it's actually
Seems like a very silly weapon. This is a very silly weapon.
they were very silly Nazis. They were actually the silliest Nazis that have ever
This is the
lived.
silliest weapon I've ever heard of.
It's
This is
basically
so silly.
They're
Pat.
basically like these guys who
Were
came
they
over,
lethal weapons though?
lethal.
So
Basically,
people would die when you use them. So you would slap a slinky at them on their dicks,
yeah, sometimes.
and that would kill them.
Yeah,
they
or
would
like-
die from that from
or
their
you-
wound.
I'm not maybe not that one. That's more just to torture someone.
Okay.
but you know,
Wait, so how are people
those fucking
How are
Nazis.
people murdered with these slinkies?
because I said that you use it to trip people. You can use them to choke people from behind. You can use them to you can stuff them down an enemy's throat if you want. If you want to get fucking brutal, dude. If you want to get nuts, we can get fucking nuts, dude. You know what I mean? Like it is insane.
So whatever you could conceive of, you could
Yeah.
use these slinkies. Okay, to kill people.
Originally, and then so after these guys were caught, they were executed. They're actually hung by their own slinkies.
Did they bounce up and down?
for hours.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
That
basically,
executioner must have had the best sense of humor.
so what happened is people saw
It's
this.
like, how are we gonna kill these guys? There's some guy in the back is like, oh.
So people are kind of like, they're like, holy shit. But then they're like, you know what? That does look like a kind of a cool thing for kids if we got rid of the lethal aspect of it.
Sure.
And so they turn into, they obviously got rid of those.
That is really probably how they made a lot of toys in the 50s.
Yeah, man.
This is what are we gonna do this? I don't know. Give it to some kid.
Yeah. They named it after the last surviving silly Nazi that used it as a weapon.
Okay.
Herman, and then quotes, Vile Slink.
Herman Vile Slink.
Yeah, Vile's his nickname.
It was a Vile Slink.
Yeah. He loves punk rock music.
Okay, but he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was executed.
Yeah.
So they named this toy after a man that we executed for war crimes.
He was the only one who wouldn't talk. So they're like, we have to full name it after him.
Doesn't make any sense, Pat.
It's just like an in joke. They just thought it was kind of funny. They were like, it wouldn't be weird if like people found out about
Why
this.
would you name a toy after like Osama bin Laden?
They
or
just
something?
thought they had a weird sense of humor, I guess. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the history is, dude.
All right, that doesn't make sense, Pat.
So it's been like suppressed and stuff. So anyway, the point is that you learn about that and you're like, holy shit. You get super into slinkies. You start kind of like actually making your own slinkies
okay.
out of plastic and bone and all kinds of different stuff. Like you
Whoa.
get very into it.
Okay.
So you actually devote so much time to getting good with slinkies, dude. Like you can do cool tricks with them down the stairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do a thing where you have a choreographed thing where you can have a bunch of slinkies race each other, but they tell a story with their movement. It's kind of like watching ballet, like plastic ballet.
So I'm like one
down
of
a
those.
staircase.
Excuse me. I'm like one of those. What is it called? Like ribbon gymnasts,
Yeah,
but
basically.
but for slinkies.
Slinkies and stairs, my friend. And so it kind of, you get so into it that you kind of start like, taking time off work and stuff like that
Okay. For what? For these?
to work on the slinkies.
Am I getting money
No,
at all? Okay.
no. Your boss, luckily, is cool about it.
Who? What was her name again? She was just hired.
Yeah, she got fired.
Okay, how convenient.
Yeah. Turned out that she was a spy for the Ukraine.
Okay.
Turns out all the stuff Trump said about the Ukraine and the Biden family, it turns out it was all true.
Okay.
Like spying on us all the time.
I wouldn't be
Fucking weird.
surprised.
Yeah. So what happens is, so she was a spy, so she got fired.
Okay, so who's my boss now?
this guy, he sends you an email. He's like, hey, in the email, it's like, do you have a minute to just chat real quick? I'm your new boss.
Okay.
Skype call comes in. It just says BL.
Okay.
This guy pops up. He's like, he goes, hello, Ben. He goes, my name is Brendan Leeds, and I'm going to be your new boss. What do you say to that, fella?
Say, okay. Okay, Mr. Manning. That's
He's
fine.
got like a weird accent, like a Chicago style kind of accent.
I know who it
And
is. I know it's Nick Manning. I know it's him. I'm not gonna say anything. I'll call him Brandon Leeds or whatever. But I clearly know it's Nick Manning.
It is.
And actually, I'm kind of psyched because he's always been a pretty cool boss.
It is clearly male porn star Nick Manning. He's wearing like a tight like suit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like jacked, you know what I mean?
I bet. I don't need to know what he looks like.
And he
I
has-
know what he looks like.
He has insanity in his eyes. But he's actually, like you said, a pretty good boss. So he's like,
Yeah.
I understand that you're going to go take some time off work, Ben.
Yeah. And we'll say, yeah, if you don't mind, I'm going to be taking some time off to drop my own loads.
He goes, always good to hear, Ben. Always good to hear that someone is dropping loads on their ambition. And then he goes, anyway, just check in Tuesday and Thursday.
Sounds good. That's fine. I'll do that, sir.
And he goes, good luck, Ben.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And he goes, drop some loads on your dreams, Ben. He hangs up.
Okay.
He's like trying to pump you up. He's actually like very into this.
I
idea.
feel very supported by him. Yeah.
And brother, you are. So you're training with the slinky and stuff. You still do your job. You go in, like I said, Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Your boss is pretty cool about it. Sometimes you don't see him for like weeks at a time.
That's fine. Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll go in.
get it.
You'll go into work and you'll see that his like door is closed and you just hear from inside, you hear like, it's just him clearly losing his mind. You're just like, you just know you're not to ask.
Yeah.
So
He's got he's got his processes.
yeah. So what happens is you actually you go to the grocery store to get a quart of milk to drink.
Okay.
You can't
Why?
wait because lately you've just been into milk.
I guess. Stop looking at me.
So you go down to the RBM Food Mart where they serve the coldest milk in town. It's not necessarily the fanciest, the most expensive.
I don't care. That's fine.
It is the coldest
If I want milk,
glass of milk you'll ever have.
I want it cold.
You want it ice.
I want it ice cold.
cold. This milk is like will actually make your refrigerator slightly colder.
That's awesome. That sounds so cool.
Yeah. RBM milk,
The coldest milk in town.
the coldest milk in town. Their logo is that older guy who works there with the glasses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That guy.
Yeah, the dad.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I don't know for a fact if they're father and son, but I've always called that one the dad.
He has a word balloon up, and it just says, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir."
Yeah.
He always says that. So you're going to get your fucking milk, and as you walk in, you see like an ad.
Mm-hmm. For what?
Slinky competition.
Ooh, okay.
And you kind of go like, what, huh? And you go back and you look at it. And basically what it is, the Lanalax Corporation is doing its 15th annual Slinky competition. And they are pulling out the stops on this one, buddy. They're inviting basically slinkiest of all levels to compete. It doesn't matter if you just bought one. It doesn't matter if you're the grand master of slinkies himself. You know what I mean?
Well, I've been training to be like the grandmaster.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to be the best.
And there are certain days where you feel like you might be the best.
Okay.
But you're not quite sure.
How else would I know?
And
If it weren't for a competition.
And you think to yourself, there are times that a man must test himself to see if he is worthy of the skin around his skull.
That's crazy.
You think that to yourself.
That's a crazy thing to say to yourself, dude.
And you decide to enter the contest.
Okay.
It's
I sound intense at this point, so I've been training a lot.
A lot.
Okay.
They're offering.
I sound very different now.
They're offering a $30,000 cash prize, tax free.
Okay. I'm a little disappointed it's that little, but that's fine.
Costs $5 to enter. You do it begrudgingly. You pay in all pennies. You're actually so pissed that you had to pay that you went to a bank with a $5 bill and asked them for 500 pennies, but not rolled up, just in a giant sack. A giant sack of pennies. And when you walk in, you just the person's like, what? And you kind of just throw it at them and you go, get them yourself, fuck face. And you just keep walking.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty self-important.
Yeah.
At this point. Okay.
You really are being kind of an arrogant prick. People are kind of getting annoyed.
Okay. Then maybe I'd turn it down a bit, huh?
As you walk in,
turn it down. With that one, I think I'd be like, all right, I think that's enough.
You make a conscious choice to be like, all right, rein it in a little bit, partner. So you go in there. Slinky competition begins. And brother, you are wrecking shop.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
You're getting like 9.8s, 9.9. Couple 10s.
Okay.
It's hard to get a 10, dude.
Yeah. What are the events? Are there different events?
Yeah, there's the strength competition part of it where you use your slinky to just pick up different things and haul weights and stuff like that. You actually pull a car with yours.
Okay, cool.
Effortlessly.
What kind of car?
79 Buick.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I pull a 79 Buick effortlessly.
Yeah, it belonged to John Foyt.
That's pretty tight. Okay.
Yeah.
The same one from Seinfeld, that Seinfeld episode?
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. They got the same one.
There's an agility one where you have to you have to cross what are those called, monkey bars, using your slinky. You know what I mean? And they're like 500 feet in the air, and there is there is no safety net.
Okay, I was about to be like, that sounds like child's play, but that's pretty scary. Okay,
yeah, it's frightening, but you do it with ease. So you're actually doing very, very well in competitive slinky.
Tight.
You actually get to the final round.
Okay.
They're like,
I know what it is.
Standing in front of you is your bully from high school.
I fucking knew it.
His name is Brian Stevenson Jones.
I fucking knew it. This fucking cocksucker.
His last name is hyphenated, so it's Stevenson hyphen Jones. His his father married his stepmother, and they just decided to join both names in high school, and it fucking ruined his life. And he really had a lot of emotional problems.
Yeah, sure.
But he was a huge prick to you.
Yeah.
And behind his back, people called him the hyphen.
Yeah, I mean, I did too.
No one ever had the balls to say it to his face, ever.
Yeah.
He's just standing there, and he just looks at you, and he just goes, "Ha! If it isn't Big Cock Cholock himself." In high school, we called you Big Cock Cholock.
Okay.
Because, and it kind of just, and it
I would not complain at that nickname.
It filled you with anxiety, though, because you were like, what if I hook up with somebody, and they're like,
oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, And so
diabolical. That's a very.
At first, you're kind of happy, and then because sometimes some ladies come knocking.
Sure, yeah, and of course they'd expect more.
Sure.
Oh my God, this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah. So and he just sees you, and he just goes, "Big cock, big cock."
This is the last thing I need.
Everyone watching starts chanting.
No.
And it reminds you of your high school graduation where he got the entire crowd to chant, "Big cock, Cho Luck, big cock, Cho Luck." It's the reason your parents got divorced.
Okay, well, I'm obviously shook, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to fail. I know I'm going to fail. I'm going to try my best to beat him.
He winks at you and he goes, "May the best man win." He sticks out his hand. Do you shake his hand?
Yes, but not before I say, "May the best man win," hyphen. I say it to his face.
Yeah. You shake his hand and he just stares at you.
Uh-huh.
And you notice that his face is ever so slowly turning red. It's about a 4-minute thing until his entire face and neck, all visible skin on his body, is the most dark red. It's the darkest that red can possibly get.
Okay. So black.
Oh, pretty much. Black with a hint of scarlet. So you turn and you are about to start the competition when suddenly like a fire alarm goes off.
Okay.
And everyone's like, "Oh no, maybe it's just a drill, I hope." And people go outside. And you're about to, leave when suddenly you feel unable to move. For a second, you smell Old Bay seasoning.
What?
And then you find yourself turning around, not of your own accord, like someone is doing it for you.
Someone's turning me around. What am I, floating?
Yeah. And standing in front of you is this guy. He is wearing a purple, wizard's robe, cloak, wizard's hat, the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
It's covered with the various logos of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
It is officially licensed gear, dude. It looks
I would expect
like
nothing
it costs a pretty penny.
I would expect nothing less.
He's holding his staff of infinite sorrow.
Uh-huh.
He's got a can of Natty Boh beer, half drank and by this point warm in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
He has the worst Maryland accent you've ever heard in your fucking life.
Yeah, okay.
Hearing this guy talk in that accent.
I know who it is, Pat.
It's the closest thing to blasphemy that there is. That isn't actually blasphemy. And it flirts. This guy's accent flirts with blasphemy.
Okay.
It's the Wizard of Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
He goes on to tell you, he's basically like, "Look, listen, you can't beat the hyphen. Just let me help you out." He goes, "Accept my charm, and you will defeat the hyphen in front of everyone." And he means everyone, because everyone in town is there. Everyone from high school is there. People from college flew in for it. A couple of podcast listeners are there. There's a lot of people there, dude.
Look, I know that no matter what choice I make, I'm going to be fucked.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, I'm going to go with the wizard. I'm going to beat him.
He sticks out his hand and gives you his charm. It is
I can't lose to this guy.
Yeah.
I can't lose to this guy again.
It is a magnificent smelling crab cake. And you look down and for a second you're reminded of the Eucharist.
Yeah.
Bread turned to flesh. Do you eat it?
Is that the thing I have to do to...
That's his charm.
Yeah, fine, I eat it.
You bite into this thing. It is the best crab cake you've ever had in your life.
I bet.
And you think to yourself,
that sounds good.
Man, say what you want about these inbred, hick white trash people of Maryland. They know their way around a crab cake.
Yeah, they sure do.
For a second, you feel a little bit of hometown pride.
Okay.
And for just a second, you whisper to yourself, good job, hon.
To myself, I say, good job, hon.
Yeah. So you go back to the, everyone files back in. You go to this competition. The hyphen's there.
Yeah.
He's just staring at you, and he is fucking pissed.
Oh.
And do you say anything to him right before it starts?
No, I don't say anything.
You start the competition, and you wipe the floor with this guy.
Yeah.
He does the best that he's ever done, and you still beat him by about 17 seconds.
Yeah.
And 10,000 points.
Okay.
Gets to the end, and he goes, what the fuck? He's like so pissed. And they go, the winner is Benjamin Copel Antonio Cholo. And he's like, no, this can't be. Don't Stop Believing starts playing.
Hell yeah.
He's like, I know you cheated. He goes, admit you cheated. He goes, I know you cheated.
Yeah.
Fuck you. He goes, I'll get you, Ben. Fuck you. He gets like taken away by the cops and stuff. They're like, holy shit.
That's
like,
a little alarming. All right.
Yeah. And so, he fights with them the whole time. It takes about 7 cops.
Jeez.
Yeah. They have to have, this guy.
I would accuse him of what's it called? Like doping. Because it looks like he's on steroids.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of think it to yourself, and this guy, this like detective kind of strolls up next to you, smoking a cigarette, and he just goes, huh. He goes, sometimes this job just doesn't get any easier. Takes a deep puff of that fucking cig.
Yeah.
He just goes, do you think evil is something man is, or something man becomes? Huh. Sorry, just the ramblings of an old cop.
Yeah.
He goes, the name's Lieutenant Sergeant Herbert Crumbs, and I'm a candy cop. Sticks out his hand. You shake his hand.
Fine. Yeah, sure.
You shake his hand. Nothing happens. So anyway, he explains that, like they don't really know what's going on with BSJ, but, they're going to take care of it.
Okay.
And you're like, all right. And you get paid the $30,000. What do you do that night to celebrate?
I'd probably go to sleep.
You go home, and it has been a fucking day.
Yeah.
So you get home. You basically crawl into bed.
Yeah.
They your parents got you this hotel.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah. Lanalax Hotel.
Okay.
They don't have any human maids. It's all just robots.
Okay.
And they actually.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Fine. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known that before. I mean, not that it matters, but that's weird.
So the way it works is when you go in there,
it just kind of gives me the creeps.
Yeah,
robots.
What happens is, you go in there, and they all the robots look like remember in the Jetsons that robot that
Rosie.
robot made? Yeah, they all look like her, and they go, "Hello, boss."
So they look like 1950s, 1950s robot maids.
Yeah, but they do a good job.
Okay, all right, that's kind of cool. I guess
they're
that's pretty
oh,
funny.
this weather, it's a moiter out there.
Okay, are they that loud? Did they have to be that loud?
No, you can adjust their volume.
Okay. Can I just say, hey, can you tone it down?
They go, sorry, boss.
Okay, that's pretty cute. That's fine.
Yeah, and they just giggle and walk away. They're very loyal.
Okay.
So
all right, you've sold me completely on these robot maids.
So you go home, you go to bed, you dream of a howling void. Suddenly you kind of wake up because it's gotten noticeably colder in your room.
Oh no, fuck.
And you kind of go huh? And you look over and you notice that your window's open, and you go, that's weird.
Okay.
And you go over and you close it, and you're like, much better. And you turn around, and standing there is this guy, the baldest man you've ever seen in your life, dude. For a second, you actually forget English.
Okay.
You just think to yourself, "Ay, Dios mío."
Fuck you, Pat.
Your English comes back. You're like, that was fucking weird. He has striking blue eyes. The type of blue, the color of a shark's final resting place. This guy has rows of shark's teeth, buddy.
I know who this is.
He is without a doubt wearing the sharpest suit you've ever seen in your life. You think to yourself, this guy walks down the produce aisle, there's going to be a lot of sliced veggies tonight. You think that?
Yeah.
And he goes,
do I really, though?
Yeah, you absolutely do. And he goes, hello, Benjamin. The name's Icebones Jones, head of communications for the Lanalax Corporation. And he leans in. And he just goes, Brian Stevenson Jones says hello. And then he stabs you in the throat so quickly that your head actually falls off. And
while my head is still rolling down, I'll go, fuck you, hyphen. I'll try to say that.
You whisper that finally. With your dying breath, you whisper that. And then your head kind of like stares up. And it's weird because, and of course, how could anyone know this? It turns out that when your head is separated from your body, your head stays conscious for like a short time. So you stare up as Icebones Jones reaches his long, cold fingers towards your decapitated head. And he sticks his fingers into your eyes.
Jeez.
And for a second he goes, I stick my fingers into my eyes. It's like that Slipknot song. And he just throws you out the fucking window. You land in a well.
Okay.
And your head dies in a well.
Great.
It's never found.
That sucks. Well, I don't know if I want it found because he fucking gouged my eyes out, basically.
Yeah, while singing Slipknot.
Motherfucker. I knew he was coming. At least I beat the hyphen. Fuck the hyphen.
You did that, yeah. And then he fucked you. Oh, did he fuck you?